Retard. Drive.
And what is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to yet another episode of Wrong Side Simulations, bringing you the best content from the wrong side of the airplane, the right seat. And as always, my name is Blake, and I'm a real-world flight dispatcher aiming to bring you a little more context to your flight sim viewing experience. And tonight, we're going to run a quick hour-and-a-half hop, part 2 of our Mexican adventure from Mexico City to San Antonio, Texas. So please join me along, or join along with me, rather, for this fun little flight. We're going to crank and bank and get out of here as fast as we can. As you can see, we've got our folks getting ready to start the boarding process, so we'll need to jump into the cockpit and get everything fired up. But before we do, let's holler at the folks in the chat, being that it is almost 1 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Don't expect there to be a whole lot of people for this one, but for those who are, I appreciate you. Zato Flies, what is up, my friend? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming along. And as always, my ride or die, Mr. Captain Shaquille O'Neal. What is up, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Oh, she's strutting her stuff. That's about the mood I'm in. You know, we're gonna get litty as a titty on this here. And we're gonna be large and in charge on this this flight out of Mexico. So let's jump into the cockpit. How is the music? How's the sounds? Y'all let me know. D-Champ, what's up, dude? peace back to you. Man, this guy's like, all these folks hitting their heads. Did their size change or something? He's like way bigger than he used to be, or? Anyways, let's get into the cockpit and be on our merry way. Alright. Hope everybody's having a great morning or a great night, whatever time of the day you're in for yourself. This is nighttime for me. Just got off of work, rushed home as fast as I could. Fortunately, the girlfriend was asleep, so I didn't even have to say hello, and came straight into here. So we are going to be running the secondary camera today, and they just uploaded some new software for the MCDU, so I haven't tested that yet. Hopefully it works better than it used to, because if not, it's going to be kind of shitty. So anyways, we'll get to that when we get to that. But first things first. Batteries, ground power, cruise supply, ground control, CVR test. Aiders 1, 2, and 3. Status, nav lights, no smoking on the emergency lights. Actually, we probably want AC down here. I don't know what the temperature is, but I'm sure it ain't cold. Actually, we can't do that yet until everything initializes down here, so I'll wait for that. We'll continue with the flow. Flight directors are on. Constraints. Get that over. VORs. That's good there. Get that where it's supposed to be. Auto. I want all threats. And we'll come down to the ATSU. Actually, let's see if this works. Alright, first button press, that's good. AOC menu. Flight init. Init data request. So far, it seems a little more responsive than what it used to be. Cool. So let's go ahead and pull up old sim brief. And let's program this thing up. So we're going to go to data, AC status. Our nav database is from the 3rd of November to the 30th of November. We're still within that. So our nav database is current and init. We'll do initialize request. There goes that. And we are Valeris VOI 2541. Oh yeah, this is definitely more reactive than what it used to be. Used to I had to hit buttons like 2 or 3 times in the MCDU to get it to work. Cost index will go CI 99, flying fast. Cruise altitude, we're going to be flying 37,000 feet with a temperature of minus 51. Triple pause, 55,100 feet. Wind data uplink, we'll get that wind request in. And in fact, I'll tell you what, let's go to this since we're actually typing on it right now. Alright, so doing our diff strip flow. We've got the D done, the I done. Then we'll go to F, flight plan, Mexico City, departure, departing off runway 5 right on the Iclan 2A. Insert that. San Antonio arrival. Plan to land runway 13 right. So we'll do ILS 13 right. And then the arrival is Limich, I guess. I don't know how you would say that. on the THX transition. There it is. For the approach via CSI San Antonio. Yeah, we won't go with one. No via inserts. Cool, so the F is done. Now we'll go to the secondary. We'll copy the active. We'll go MX803. Plan to hold there if we lose an engine. Right turns. 1 minute time because it's 3.7 mile turns. And we'll go up to rad nav. I don't know if there is a nav aid. Sid, RNAS, left. And we got MEX, Mexico City. Hard tune that. Back over to init, go to the init B page. Our planned zero fuel weight is 127.5. We'll put in the standard CG of 30 for now until we get our actual block fuel, planning on 16.7. Man, this dude is finally working right now. Is actually worth the money. 500 pounds on the taxi. We're going to zero out that route reserve. Alternate, we are carrying an alternate of Dallas for low ceilings and reduced visibility in San Antonio. That's going to give us a 3.6 burn to Dallas. And our reserve fuel, looking at what's called 3.0. Cool, that's it. Next, all we need to do is get our perf numbers once finished boarding. Let's see. Let's get some current weather. Alright, currently winds are 080 at 3 knots, 9 statute miles. Sky is clear, temperature is 15, dew point 9, altimeter is 30.02. A lot of times I like to hit B to get the altimeter set close, because it's never like dead on. I guess the flight sim's always a little bit behind in live weather. And then that'll get it close and I don't have to go scrolling so damn far. Let's see. On our departure out of here. That's weird. Transition altitude is 18,500 feet, which is in the MCDU already, so that's good. RNAV 1 GNSS required, radar required. And I don't see, what is our transition again? Ickland has an at or above of 290, so we'll just put our initial climb altitude. 29 seems awful high, but whatever. We're in uncontrolled airspace anyways. So 290 is in there. Let's get connected to VATSIM real quick. We are an A320. Cool. That is set. Let's get the radio set. We're gonna go on radio 2, so I don't have to be looking all the way over here. Cool. 22.8 is set. And we have our fuel on board. So now we can turn on the seatbelt sign. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's add a slight bit more realism and do a little packs while we're at it. Cool. Since we have our fuel on board now, we can turn on the fuel pumps and see where we're at in the boarding process. $79 out of 129. All right. Well, now got hot cocoa. Damn right, son. Got to try it here. Cooling off in my Black Rifle coffee mug with a lot of Baileys. Feels like some of that powder didn't really dissolve very well. So we'll get that off until we're about ready to go. I don't think I'm going to wait for all these passengers because it's going to take a hot minute. Alright, let's go ahead and start the APU, but before we do that, we'll go to APU fire test. It's good there. We'll go engine 1 fire test. Looks good. And engine 2 fire test. Looks good. Uno, dos, tres, start. The worst is when you drink it and your taste buds are gone for 3 days. Dude, I'm telling you, and I have a sensitive ass tongue, especially to like really, really hot stuff. Take this belt off. It's cutting into my gut that continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh baby. Just waiting on this APU to fire up. I'm going to run a 3-minute APU warm up, and if our folks are still not on board by then, we're going to get out of here. I like my hot cocoa hot, please. Yeah, okay. Touche. I like mine mostly hot. Let's see if it's even cooled down enough. And I cannot put anything hot in like a Yeti cup, otherwise I'm waiting like 4 hours to drink my damn drink. Oh yeah, it's just right. It's just right. It's so right. It kind of sounds like a sexy song. I read a really funny meme, and it's like not even to get into politics or anything, but somebody said is like, if you have more guns in your house than you do books, you're part of the problem. And somebody responded with, all my guns came with owner's manuals. Checkmate. I was like, zam. That was a pretty good one. Pretty good. So this is kind of how you want to be whenever you're pre-flighting. You want to kind of have some chill time like this. I hate it, especially like when I'm jump seating and I'm standing behind the pilots and like they're running a little bit behind. Like there's been times where like they just came off another airplane and they've rushed over and they're trying to get set up and trying to get out on time, and I'm kind of in the way. Like I don't want to talk to them because I don't want to slow them down, but like they do have some things that they have to talk to me about. Like, do you need the safety brief? Like, have you ridden up here before? You know how things go. All right, cool, stuff like that. Josh, what's up, dude? How's it going? How much longer you got at Lackland? So good. Actually loaded up on VATSIM as Delta 236 Airbus A321, flying with you because hell, I'm not against it. Let's see if I can find you. You know what gate you parked at? Oh, that's got to be you right there. And what are you flying? X-Plane or are you flying Microsoft? Because if you're flying Microsoft, it means you have to be flying the Latin VFR one, right? Everybody, say what's up. Thanks for flying along. Popping a wheelie over there. Well, you know, the METAR says clear skies and like 10 statute miles visibility, but it looks pretty misty or hazy to me. X-Plane 11, total is 321, correction cost sign 2360, nice. I've actually thought about flying a little bit of X-Plane 11 myself. I'm kind of missing the 321. Alright, 10 seconds left on the 3-minute timer. We're at 114 out of 129 passengers, so we might as well wait. Oh shit. Dude, that's awesome. I got to do the same thing. Whenever I got out, when I left Lackland, I went to my girlfriend's house in Shreveport for a few days. I got out just before Halloween, and my whole family had a little like family get together at my aunt's house for Halloween, and they knew I was getting out at some point, but they didn't know when, and so I was able to do the whole YouTube video like surprising your family kind of thing. And went over to my aunt's house and just like walked in the house. Everybody was sitting at the dinner table except for my mom, and my dad like looked up and like looked like he'd seen a ghost. My dad, 26-year veteran of law enforcement, 2-year or not 2-year, but he was veteran in the Navy. So like my dad's a tough dude, and like I don't think I've ever seen my dad like react that way. And so then I asked, I was like, "Where's mom?" And I'm like, "Oh, she's in the other room." So went to the other room. Like my mom was walking out as I was walking in, and she like flipped her shit, started screaming and crying. Like it was, it was like what you see on all the YouTube videos. It was awesome. So dude, I'm super stoked that you're going to get to have that moment, because if there's any moment that's worth joining the military for, that's definitely one of them. So I hope somebody videos that, because I would like to see it, but I won't say anything to her. That's awesome, dude. Alright, 124 out of 129, so we're pretty much ready to go. Let's do a departure brief real quick, shalleth we? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a right seat takeoff. Aircraft type is a 320 for tail strike avoidance. There's no MELs or CDLs that degrade the performance of the aircraft. It's going to be, we'll do a single engine taxi out. Our taxi route is going to be, got the charts on my company EFB. Where's my... There it goes. Let's go thing. So we're departing off of, I don't know why, 5 right. That has us crossing the runway to depart. But whatever, we're going to depart on runway 5 right. So our taxi routes, ooh, it's going to be a hell of a short taxi. So we'll make it a 2-engine taxi. We're going to taxi Bravo, Bravo 3, cross runway 5 left. We have a hot spot at Bravo 3, so we'll use extreme caution there. And we'll hold short of 5 right. Let's see, weather's no factor, terrain is a factor. We do have terrain around us. We'll turn on the terrain on the ND. We have one hotspot and one runway to cross. If we have any issues before V1, it'll be my decision to reject the takeoff. We'll come to a complete stop, set the parking brake, and call the flights to their stations. Analyze the situation, call for any ECAM actions, burn emergency evacuation checklist as required. After V1, it'll be after V1, we're going to fly our engine out procedure, which is to we'll go hold at MX803. And actually, I need to get my perf numbers before we can even finish this phase of things. Perf page. Alright, so we're going to depart off runway 5 right, dry. No toga, anti-ice will be off, packs will be on. And altimeter is now 3029. Right. The irritating thing is, though, for some reason, my physical MCDU, I can't use the FOs for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I have to keep like moving over here, over here. Or maybe we'll just make this the view so that we can always see both. All right. So let's see. It's going to be flaps 2 up, 0.1. Flexing 46. Engine out, acceleration climb altitude is 8320. Same on the other side. And then our V speeds is 29, 35, 35. Sweet, that's entered in. Alright. Now we can finish our departure brief. Cool. So after V1, we're going to go hold at MX803. We'll speed up, clean up, engine out. Altitude is 8320. We will be under max landing weight, and our landing runway would be 5 right if we need to come back. If all goes as planned, we're going to be flying the Limig 1 departure. Our top altitude is 29,000 feet, and we're squawking 2,000. Tell you what, let's amend that to 14. Cool. Our departure brief is complete. They've told us they're boarded up and ready to go. They've given us our cargo load sheet and our .Z, which is airline specific thing, and we're ready to go. So we will request pushback. I'm going to go nose left. And Zato, if you want to go first, man, you're more than welcome. I'm going to be taxiing right by you, I believe. Right, so B4 takeoff checklist. Maintenance log and tail is on board and checked. Top prep's complete. Gear pins covers are removed. Signs are on auto. ADIRs are in nav. Let's see if we can get this one over here in the flight plan. Cool. Fuel, min required takeoff fuel is going to be 15.4, and we've got 16.7 on board. Altimeters 3029 set, EFB's checked, windows door slides closed and armed, beacon is on, thrust levers are in idle, transponder is in auto, and parking brake is on. Before start checklist is complete. Those left. Mexico City traffic, Polaris 2541 be pushing back from gate 18. Polaris, or Mexico City. Whoever the hell. I don't know why brake fans were on. Up here, turn this off. Bleed air can come on. Disconnect and disconnect. We may have some pretty interesting weather down in San Antonio when we get there. At the time that I planned this flight, visibility was 5 miles with 400-foot ceilings. And knowing Texas, it'll probably fog in. Alright, so now we need to set up, finalize these numbers. So our actual zero fuel weight is 130.2. That's quite a bit more than what was planned. And our zero fuel weight CG is 28.8. That is set, and we will get out of here. Set that. Bring it back to perf. Alright, let's roll the block. Zeta sounds good, dude. Shaq, this is a payware Mexico City. And it is nice. Not sure which I like better though, this or Cancun. I think Cancun's a bit nicer. Alright, y'all want to roll them? Let's roll them. And we have more than 25 PSI on the high pressure, what's that called? The high pressure, is it start valve? I think it's start valve. I can't remember. HP valve. And we got Zato down there. Weird thing though is that my engine.
Right, I made a mistake. I'll just do a 360 here.
No worries, bud. Engine mode selector, for some reason, it does that. It just kind of like flickers. It doesn't affect the engine start process, but it is a little weird. Alright, got a good start on one. Let's roll number two. Wish I was flying a 321. Can't wait for my company to get our first 321 Neo, which we get in April next year. It's going to be a good looking airplane. Really hoping that it has the black around the windows, the cockpit windows. Make it look more aggressive. Thank you, ma'am. Alright, just waiting on engine 2 to spool all the way up. We got a good start. So we'll start 3-minute timer. Why is it doing that? There it goes. Alrighty. Before taxi flow, or after start flow. Up 0.1. There you go. Alright, after start checklist. Engine anti-ice is off. Yellow electric pump is off. Rotor trim 0. After start checklist completes. We'll take our time on this taxi. We need 3 minutes for the warm-up. Alright, starting to roll. Why is this zooming in? Oh, well, brake check. Pressure 0. Mexico City traffic, Valeris 2541 is taxiing Bravo, Bravo 3, and we'll call when we cross runway 5 left. Mexico City. Alright, mini brief.
And Delta 2360 will be taxiing to runway 0.
No, we're departing off runway 5 right. Our gross weight's
Bravo
146.8. We
We'll be
are
calling
flaps
for
config 2.
crossing runway
Fuel
05 left.
16.6. V1 is 129. V2 is 135. Top altitude is 14,000 feet. 14,000 is blue. And our first fix is MX800. Alrighty, flight controls check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. And full right. Push the button, don't know why it's doing that. It ain't supposed to. Eduardo, excited for the IE and Shark. Oh, yes. So I'm not sure if you are new to the channel or not, but I am a real-world flight dispatcher, and I dispatch. Well, I'm a dispatch manager now, so I don't do as much dispatching anymore. But my airline flies. Our engines are the IAEs, and most of our fleet have the Sharklets. So I am very, very excited for it whenever that does finally come. It does seem like it's taking quite a while. Right before takeoff flow,
In Mexico City traffic, Delta 2360 crossing runway 05 left.
Mexico City traffic, Valeris 2541's crossing runway 5 left at Bravo 3. Mexico City. I keep wanting to say Valeris. Got our 3-minute engine warm up, so we are good to go. Mexico City traffic, Valeris 2541 is clear of runway 5 left at Bravo 3. Mexico City. Alrighty, we'll hold right here. Set the parking brakes. Alrighty, before takeoff checklist.
2541, you can go right ahead of me. I still got to set up some things for my takeoff performance.
Understood. We'll go ahead. Thanks. Alrighty, before takeoff checklist. Gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim be 28.3% CG set V1 BRB2 flex is 129, 135, 135 flex 46. Flaps config 2. Flight instruments are checked. Flight controls are checked. ECM mode takeoff all green. ECM status is checked. Predictive wind shear is on auto. TCAS code set TRA. Cabin crew advised. Mini briefs complete. Takeoff runway. Runway 5 right is confirmed. Fuel, min required is 15.4, and we've got 16.5 on board. Engine mode selector is normal. Bleed packs are set before takeoff checklist. All the way is complete. Mexico City traffic, Valeris 2541, departing off runway 5 right, we'll be exiting airspace to the north. Mexico City. See if we can get us a nice roll and take off. Flew the CRJ Sim with you that day in the mall. Great. Oh, that's awesome. I remember you. Heck yeah, dude. Love the sound of the IE. You and me both, man. You and me both. Clear left, clear right. Well, I guess technically clear on the approach, clear down the runway. Alrighty. Who's ready to go to San Antonio, Texas? By the way, y'all got the Airbus yet at the, I don't know what you call it, in y'all's the store or the sim store? I'm really looking forward when that Airbus comes. Alright guys, here we go. Man, Flex, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Addons thrust is set.
In Mexico City traffic, Delta 2360, lining up runway 05 right behind the company, departing.
And V1, rotate. Rotate, senor. And we are on our way. Nav. Positive brake. Let's go gear up. Disarm spoilers. Climb. Oh, nose are down to accelerate. Looking for positive trend on the airspeed. Got the positive trend. Thrust climb. And Mexico City, Valeris 2541 is clear of runway 5. Righty exiting the airspace to the north. Final call. Mexico City. Gotta change this. When I had the cabin off, control on 0. Alright, let's go flaps 2, speed checks, flaps 2. And flaps 0, speed checks, flap 0, after takeoff checklist, landing gears up, flaps retracted. Bleed packs are set. APU is off. After takeoff checklist is complete.
Departing 205 right.
Mexico City traffic, Air Mexico 2445 and an 8 mile final to land, runway 05.
05 what? There's 2 5s, hombre. 5 left and 5 right. Keep on hand flying her up. We're above 10. So turn all them lights off. Why is that? Don't tell me I know what's wrong. My FSU IPC7 needs to be reset. Hate it when those flight directors jump around like that. Trying to make some nice smooth maneuvers. What's up, Jet Kid? How's it going, dude? How is you is? Always great to see you. Alright, we'll turn the autopilot on so I can hang out with y'all, drink this adult hot chocolate. Less than 1,000 to go, we'll crank her on up. It's flight level 2, what's our cruise? Yeah, so we'll say 250 for now. So the pilots you would get that instruction from ATC. Pilot flying would dial it in on the FCU, and then he would confirm 25 blue,
And Mexico City
and then the other pilot monitoring would confirm 25 blue.
Airborne at flight level 100.340, departing airspace via the north. Final call for Mexico City traffic.
And real quick, I'm going to add some extra Baileys to the hot chocolate. I want a nice little buzz before we land. I doubt this will get me there, but you know, who knows? Oh yeah, nice and strong. So, Zedo, I see your message said, agreed IEs are just amazing, but in the FS labs, if I remember correctly, they get warnings of, oh, low oil temp. Okay, yeah, so the reason for that is if you don't run the 3-minute engine warm-up like I did on our taxi out, you'll get that warning. If you run your 3-minute engine warm-up, then you won't have that issue. That's the whole point of the 3-minute warm-up. For Neos, sometimes it's 5 minutes. Neo engines are a little bit higher maintenance. They take longer to start. They're a bigger pain in the ass to start whenever they're cold, stuff like that.
City traffic, Air Mexico 2445, crossing to the right.
Send it. Sir, it has been sent. USPS. We're actually working on a 320. I expect it to be ready maybe in a couple of months. But we also got a lot of cool new stuff. Ooh, shit. What kind of cool new stuff y'all got? I was telling my girlfriend for my birthday, which is on December 7th, that I was thinking about maybe coming out to give y'all a visit and do a little flying for my birthday. If you ever want to come out and record for the channel too, you're more than welcome. That would be fun. Although if I fly like I did flying the 7.3 and the CRJ, it would be hella embarrassing because it was terrible flying on my part. Terrible. Here comes transition altitude. It's supposed to be 18,500, but you know that's weird. So let's just go ahead and pull standard. Standard. When we get up to cruise, we'll run through our hat flow for arrival to get everything pre-set up and take a look at the San Antonio weather since it was looking a little sketch. Jet Kid, what you doing in Austin, Texas? What's the weather like out there right now? Well, we're heading to somewhat close to Austin on this flight. Alcohol and planes, best room ever. Damn right. Yes, sir. Oof. Almost actually spilled it on my keyboard. Party foul. That happens. It was a wonky departure. Yeah, that's what I eventually learned too, but didn't know actually about the Neos, especially the Pratt & Whitneys when they take too damn long. Yeah, that's what we have on our airplanes are Pratts, and I can contest to that. They take a hot minute to get started. Man, I want to see the engine fan there. I guess that'll work for now. Sometimes I just get rid of the cabin altogether. You can see more. Pinkies, you got that right. You've only got class if you got them pinkies up. I gotta make sure to drink this before it goes cold though, because my girlfriend's asleep and I can't warm it up in the microwave. Or I could just be a dick and do it anyway. Oh, Got the marshmallows, y'all. Can't forget the marshmallows. I don't even know how you spell marshmallow. That's Mom Duke's B-Day as well. I'm the 30th. It sucks. Yeah, like mine's like just far enough before Christmas that people have to like separate my gifts. Mid 70s, 80s today, beautiful weather. Where you at? Oh, that's right. You just fucking duh, Austin. Yeah, it was here too. Had that cold front kind of roll through, and now it's about 59 outside. So if you're here in Florida and it's below 65, that's officially hot chocolate drinking weather, because you ain't gonna get too many days where it's much less than that. Ooh, that's strong. The Maxes can take what engines? I guess the Maxes have leaps, right? I'm not familiar with the leaps as much. Airbuses have leaps as well, but I would imagine if they're those big Neo-like engines, then I wouldn't doubt that they would take quite a while to start. Alright, so we're coming up on 25,000 feet, so let's go ahead and take it up to our final cruising altitude of 37. And we are also, so we got this altitude constraint right here at Icklen, but when we pass it, it'll go away. So for right now, we've got 29 magenta, but once we get past Icklen, it should go to 35 blue. So let's see if it does that. And I actually think that's a crossing constraint that we didn't meet, as the chart says. Well, I lost the chart. The chart was saying, I believe, at, no, it was at or below. Never mind. So we actually did meet that constraint, so we're fine. Got the little negative sign. So I was correct. Now that we're past Icklen, the 29 magenta went away and is now 37 blue. 37 blue. I'm going to keep that seatbelt sign on until we get up close to cruising altitude. Seeing we're hitting a few bumps with this mountainous terrain. Probably getting a little bit of light mountain wave. And then once we get up there, we'll turn that seatbelt sign off as long as it's still smooth. Prog page, we'll see what our optimal... So this says that our optimal cruising altitude is 350 with a recommended max of 37,700 feet. So it's actually, for now... Let's change that to 350. That's 50. 350 slash. Now, you lose 2 degrees for every 1,000 feet. Well, actually, I guess you gain it if you're going down. So, if it's negative 51, negative 49 would be 36,000 feet. So, it'd make it negative 47. At 35,000 feet. Cool, there we go. It's a good thing we checked out that recommended max, because that would have us pretty tightly up in that coffin corner. We don't want to do that. It's due to motoring process of leaps. Interesting. Didn't know that. Oh shit. Got 2 more FAA approved sims. One is a Diamond DA40. Wow. Like the CRJ, and some F-18s in production too. Damn, I will definitely fly some F-18. I at least know enough to get that thing started up and take off. I don't know how to like get the navigation systems going and shit, but I can start it and get the like primary systems up and running and fly that around. That'd be really cool. We did on the CRJ. We'll do some crew resource management. All right. Sounds like a plan to me. Dude, when y'all get that Airbus in, I'm probably gonna get a minimum of 2 hours. We'll figure out where y'all got some scenery, and I'm bringing checklists, and we're gonna hammer down on that thing. See if I can't teach y'all something about the Airbus. The Neo Pratt Whitneys do those howling noises. It has spool up. I'm telling you, I love that sound. In fact, today I was outside on the phone with my girlfriend, and one of our planes, one of our Neos landed, and as soon as it touched down, I heard that. I was like, yep, it's a Neo. When it goes into reverse thrust, you can hear that whiny sound as well. I'm pretty sure I have some videos of we were taxiing out, I think out of Orlando. I was jump seating in a Neo, and you can hear the hum even from the cockpit. And I was telling the captain, I was like, oh, it's such a sexy sound. Guys, please do me a favor, if you can, if you're enjoying the content, please smash that likey button. Let's get this stream litty as a titty, and it would make me very happy, and I appreciate the support, and it definitely helps the algorithm, and hopefully bring a few more folks who aren't aware of the channel yet, maybe bring them our way, and give us some more friends to make in the community. Give me an F-14 home cockpit and I'll flat spin my... That's a good one. That is a good one. I'll be your goose to float my way down to the ocean in a parachute. You can definitely tell that this is mountain wave in the way that the airplane's kind of doing this little number. That's somewhat characteristic of mountain wave turbulence. And you got some pretty aggressive mountains down there. I would love to go to Mexico City if like I could guarantee not to get killed by the cartel. It's hard, actually, dude. Jet-Kid, it's hard to pinkies up with a coffee mug. I need the pinky for like some leverage. There we go. Dude, there's some. So a while ago, when I went and put more Baileys in this, my cup was less than 3/4 full, and I filled the rest of it all the way up with Baileys. So if I don't have a slight tingle in my head, then I don't know what the hell. I'm just so excited that my damn MCDU is finally working the way that it's supposed to. Finally. I need to try to get like a good camera view. Let me try that real quick. See if I can get a good camera view for y'all on the MCDU. All of a sudden, this is rotating. We'll just hold it. All right. I got a glare on this thing now, so let's turn this off. And let's go here. And let's go here. Alright, cool. So now y'all can see the MCDU. Try to do this my best that I can. So we're going to do the hat flow. So the hat flow, when you draw it out, makes a little hat. So you got the brim, the crown, and the rest of the brim. So for this, I need a little bit of arrival info. Oh, hell yeah. San Antonio's fogged in. We're going to have a low IFR approach if it keeps up this way. And it probably will. Okay, so. Let's do flight plan first. ICLIN, fix info. Let's do KSAT. 13 right, I believe is what we're landing. Yep. And we're going to do a 5-mile range ring around that. Come over, and we're going to put in our final approach fix. So I'm not sure. So I got my company EFB out. Should be Alamo. Yeah. Alright, so it's going to be Alamo AL AMO. And then our radius is going to be the opposite of runway heading, which will be 308. This is going to draw out our center line, our extended center line. So that's done. RadNav, we can now clear out Mexico. San Antonio is SAT. Sometimes those nav aids have a different identifier. Proc page. KSAT 13 right. Drop that into here. So we are 466.2 miles from the threshold of the runway. Perf page, and we'll come over to approach. Right now winds are 160 at 5. I'm surprised that there's any fog, because usually if you have winds 5 knots or greater, whoops, fog struggles to form or develop. 160 at 5. Temperature is 18, and I'm going to show y'all something kind of cool here in just a second. Something that us dispatchers pay a lot of attention to. 2985, and we're going to be flying a Cat 2 approach, which has a ceiling of 100 feet with RVR requirement of 1200 feet. We'll actually pull up live RVRs and go based off of that. So that's perf. Now fuel prediction. So we are estimated to land with 7.4, which gives us, that ain't right. I planned at least 30 minutes of extra fuel. So that's weird. So we got our alternate fuel of 3.6 with our reserve fuel of 3.0. This should actually technically be higher because that's only giving us 40 minutes based off of this. But we go based off the OFP, not the MCDU. And it gives us 700 pounds of extra, which equates to about 10 minutes of extra fuel. Oh, that's right. So we actually have less fuel because the zero fuel weight was like 2,800 pounds heavier. So it's increased our burn. So then secondary flight plan, we can delete what's currently in there. We'll go... we'll copy the active and we'll change this runway to, I don't think there's any better runways than 13 right in here. Approach. 13 right has a Cat 2, everything else is Cat 1. So for now we'll just go ahead and take out, just won't have anything in a secondary. We can actually, if we need to, we can go ahead and plot our alternate. Flight number VOI 2541. Cost index, call it 0. Cruise, call it 19,000. So we have that initialized. We'll come back to secondary flight plan. sat, we'll put our 1-3 right in there because that's what we'll be going around on. And then we'll just keep it simple. We'll do DFW, arrival, and we'll say 1-3 right into DFW as well, with no star, and just do it straight like that. Come back to secondary flight plan, and now we've got waypoints in there. So when we go missed, we can just go direct to Papa, Hodax, 1-3 right. Cool. And now we are set up, pre-set up for the arrival. And now my knee hurts. I'm sure y'all probably couldn't read everything. This I'm limited to like 1080 or something on this camera. It's not the best in the world, but it's cool to show y'all physical MCDU. And it's getting hot in this computer room. Oh shit, airplane went up to 37. Did that because I put it into the FCU, so it's going to kick out the 35,000 that we put into I'm just wondering if we can actually stay at 37. That would help us with the burn and should give us a little more gas. Screw it, we'll just this is like some real life stuff. This is the kind of thing that dispatchers face. Sometimes flights are heavier, it's going to burn into the fuel, and things change. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go down to 35,000. We'll keep an eye on the gas. As we get to our waypoints, we'll do fuel checks, kind of see how we're stacking up. Obviously, we're going to be overburning, and we'll just adjust accordingly. If we need to change our alternate to Houston or Austin or something like that, we'll do what we can. So now the thing that I want to show y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and reset F. This. Oh man. Okay, thought I lost my software for the MCDU. Alt star and Alt cruise. There we go. Cool. So the thing I wanted to show y'all, and this is a really big thing for dispatchers. So as dispatchers, big thing that we're looking for, if we're worried about obscuration developing like fog or mist, we're looking for the temp and dew point spread to closely match or match. So we got the temperature is 18 with a dew point of 18, so there's a lot of humidity. The temperature and the dew point have now met up together, so there's a lot of humidity in the air, which allows for obscuration like fog to develop. Winds are currently 160 at 5 knots. Those are relatively light winds. The lighter the winds, the easier it is for obscuration to develop. So as dispatchers, if let's say like we don't see any fog or any mist or anything like that, but we see this, especially at an airport that's very prone to fogging in, like Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Orlando, Tampa, places like that, this is a big red flag for us. And if we see this, or if we even see a trend, and like watch, I'll pull up the last like 5 hours of METARs. When we see the trend starting to like get closer and closer and closer, we're kind of like, okay, fog could possibly happen. So let's plan a precautionary alternate. Because a lot of times the forecast won't call for anything. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes it'll be like it's gonna be clear skies, 10 statute miles, and all of a sudden it's fogged in. So we can't always just rely on a forecast. We have to try to figure things out for ourselves sometimes. So just kind of going back 5 hours, we can see here the temp dew point spread was a 3-degree spread. We got temperature 19, dew point 16. Winds are a little bit higher at 150 at 7 knots, and it gives us 10 statute miles. As we go closer to present time, same thing, 3-degree spread. The winds have died down a little bit. We'll go up another hour. Now we're down to 2-degree spread, so that temp dew point is getting closer and closer. But now we got winds at 10 knots, so that's definitely, that will help kind of hold off the obscuration. The more movement in the area you have, the less it disrupts obscuration development. So next hour, same thing, 2-degree spread or 2-degree spread. Winds are at 9 knots. But now, as these temperatures are starting to, or the wind temperature, the wind speed is starting to die down. So now we're at 7 knots. Still 2-degree spread. That's going to start making things a little more prone to obscuration development. Next hour, now we're at a 1-degree spread. And look at this. Now the visibility has come down a little bit. 5 miles. BR, dispatch school, they trained it as baby rain, but it stands for mist. So a way to remember it, since mist and BR don't really look or sound alike, is to think baby rain. But winds are 170 at 8, so that's helping out. Now the winds are down to 6 knots. In the next one, 1-degree spread, and now the viz is down to 2 miles. Coming up to the next one, this was probably a specie if I had to guess. No, this was a specie. Came out at 517 Zulu. METARs always come out at the same time. So like this one came out at 0151, 0221, so that's a specie. 0251, 0351, 0451. So those ones that keep coming out at the same time, those are like the scheduled observations. But when you see some that are not at that time, like this one at 302 Zulu, that's a special or a specie. So if there's a significant weather change, the automated weather discriminator will detect that and then publish a special observation. So anyways, so now as the temp dew point spread gets closer, like right here, 18 and 18, the viz keeps coming down. We got light winds now, and that will definitely allow for lower visibility and fog to develop. And as you can see, just 9 minutes later, from 0551 Zulu to 0600 Zulu, so that's a 9-minute difference, the viz went from 2 miles to a half a mile. That's how fast things can change. So if dispatchers aren't on their A game, they're not paying attention to the temp dew point spread, and they're not able to like forecast themselves that this could potentially happen, and don't plan fuel or alternates, then this could catch you by surprise and you're hosed. And in this case, if I had a flight going to San Antonio right now and I didn't have extra gas and I didn't have an alternate, and say it was just all like standard Cat 1 approaches, would have to make the call to divert somewhere else, or like drop in somewhere on the way to get more gas, because in my opinion the flight may not be able to legally operate. So now the other thing beside that, so we've got half-mile visibility, we got 5,000 varying to 6,000 foot RVRs. San Antonio has a Cat 2 approach, so as long as it's operable, we need 1,200 RVR to shoot the approach, and we've got more than that. So with 5,000 to 6,000 feet, it's probably more of like a, I don't know, like a 1 mile visibility in real life. Sometimes if the visibility is not actually that bad, you might see half mile here, but at the back of the METAR it'll say tower visibility 2 miles or something like that. But I don't think this is going to get any better unless the winds really pick up, with having the light rain, which is adding even more moisture in the air, along with fog, temp dew point spread on top of each other. This is only going to get worse. So by the time we get there, we might be looking at a quarter-mile visibility. So if that happens, again, we're going to need 1200 RVR, which is runway visual range, so feet looking down the runway. We need 1200 RVR to shoot the approach with 100-foot ceilings. And right now, we're good to shoot the approach. We've got an alternate. Everything we've done is legal, so we are good to go there. And that is your Dispatch 101 for the day. All right, let's turn the seatbelt sign off. Let the passengers up, move around. And we got a company message. MCDU, ATSU, AOC menu, received messages. And yeah, 473-minute delay. That's because I changed the time. Don't care. Now, sorry for that that little dispatch rant. I will now probably put this on the flight planning series for that whole little rant there. The attempt is there. Yes, there it is. Attempting to get my brain tingling. Today actually starts vacation for me. I don't go back to work until the 11th, so gonna drink. The F-18 is my baby in DCS. I know a little something something. Well, then you need to come on down to Daytona, and we're gonna go hang out with Eduardo and go fly an F-18 when they get it, because I can 110% guarantee that you know a lot more than I do. Like I said, I can get it started that, and I can get started, and I can fly it, and like basic operation, but that's where it ends for me. Oh yeah, a little top hat on the MCDU, damn right. If you watch any V1 simulations, you'll see him and hear him do that as well on his channel. Now that we're at cruise, we'll turn on airports on our EFIS panel so that we have better situational awareness of where we're at in space. And if we had some sort of major issue and needed to go somewhere, we're already ready. Gotta go get some sleep now. Have a good flight, man. Like the channel a lot. Great to give the right seat some love. Well, Eduardo, I don't know if you're still here, but I appreciate the kind words, my friend. I really do. And I will definitely be seeing you sometime in the near future. And guys, I don't know if y'all even remember, but let me pull up some pictures for y'all. So Eduardo works at this really cool place in the Daytona Mall. It's right next to Embry-Riddle. So this place is driven for, like, driven towards flight sims, or not flight sim, but flight students, flight school students, Embry-Riddle students. So they have FAA certified trainers. They're not full motion, they are fixed base, but they are kick-ass. Let me pull those pictures up. I flew a 737 MAX. I was having issues with it, so I ended up getting off of that and went over to the CRJ, which is FAA approved. A little higher quality because of that, so we flew that. It's just a quick picture here. So this is their, well, there it goes. This is their 737 MAX setup, as you can tell. And I do believe it runs in prepared. Unfortunately, it's not Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I don't know if that's even compatible for stuff like this yet. But and then this is the CRJ 200 sim. This is the FAA certified simulator, which is a lot of fun. They've also got some G1000 all glass Cessna 172 setups, as well as, like he said earlier, some Diamond setups as well. But the Airbus, though, that is what I'm waiting for. I'm just hoping that one day, here's, I got some air show stuff here. I'm hoping one day soon that maybe I'll be able to get in on our level D sim at work and fly our training sim. Alright, so we are crossing over Yervat, whatever that is. Yervat. And let's see what our fuel is supposed to be. Now again, keep in mind, we are like 2,800 pounds heavier than we're supposed to, than what we're planned to be. So that will definitely add in to our fuel burn. So we are currently, it's supposed to be 11.7, and we've got 11.5. So that's not bad. It's only 200 pounds. So we should still, if it's only 200 pounds worse on the burn, I would think that we should have more than. Okay, it's gone up a little bit. Now it's showing 8.0 on arrival with 1,500 pounds almost of extra fuel to play with. Now, if we wanted to make this better, if we want to conserve gas, we can go CI 0, and that will, as you can see, lower our speed, and then that will reflect in the fuel prediction page. Now showing 8.5 and gives us 25 minutes of extra fuel. So that's one of those fuel management tactics that dispatchers and pilots can use to, if they run into situations like this where a little bit heavier than what was planned and we need to save some gas, we can fly CI 0 and conserve that fuel. Or if we have a situation where, like, there's thunderstorms crossing over San Antonio, it's starting to enter the field right now, we need to slow down so that shit can move on before we get there and we don't have to hold and burn gas. We can fly CI 0 and kind of give that weather a little bit more time to move out the way. CI is very important to dispatchers and the operation. It allows us to help manage things a little bit better. So if, like, we have a station that's having gate issues that day, they need a little bit of help with that. So if they got like a flight that's in a gate that is delayed because of maintenance, and like we're on our way to San Antonio, there's a plane in our gate, they may or may not be off by the time we get there, we can fly CI 0, slow down, and try to give them more time to get that worked out, get the plane off of our gate before we get there. So there's nothing worse that people or passengers hate more than to land at their destination and just be sitting there stuck on an airplane. So we use CI 0 to mitigate that. We use CI 0 to mitigate a lot of stuff. During the holidays, a lot of times we'll just plan CI 99 on everything to try to make up or try to make as much block that we can, have as much on-time arrivals as we can during the holidays, because that's like one of the most important times of the year to try to actually be on time. I mean, you want to be on time with every flight, but there's always operational restrictions or constraints, or however you want to word it. But the holidays is a time that we really strive to be on time, because if you can be dubbed the most on-time airline during the holidays, that's a huge, huge deal. So that's my rant for the night. So Jet Kid, where do you live? Because you are absolutely invited. Now, I will say, to fly one of those simulators where Eduardo works, in fact, I can't talk right now. Eduardo. But anyways, I'm trying to remember what the prices were. It was like $137 for an hour in the 737. It was like $182 an hour in the CRJ, something like that. So there's definitely some money involved. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's definitely a lot of fun and something I don't mind going and spending the money on every now and then to go and do. Getting a bunch of work emails right now, reminding me that I have some training, computer-based training things to do. It's super obnoxious. I have like 7 or 8 of them, so I keep getting these damn emails. Do-do-do-do-do. Felt like my stream deck wasn't working. Upkeep for sure. Yeah. So they're all over. Okay. I used to be, man. When I was younger, and I mean, I'm only 31, about to be 32. When I was younger and single, lived at home with my parents, who could watch my dog. Dude, I was everywhere. Been able to fly for free. Hell, I dated a girl in Canada for 2 years. And I was flying 4 legs there, 4 legs back, every other week. But I used to be all over the damn place in the States. Coming out of the military, I had friends all over the place. So I'd go fly everywhere and go see them, and I would make friends when I would be doing these travels, and that would ultimately lead to more traveling and more flying around and hanging out with folks. It's a good time when you can do it. Now I'm stuck with a damn girlfriend and nobody to watch my dog, which my dog's getting old anyway, so I don't really want to give up any time with her that I've got. But definitely can't just run and gun as much as I used to. And I used to have a really good parking deal whenever I worked at Trans-States. Well, when I worked at the airport in my hometown, I parked for free because I worked at the airport. And then when I worked at Trans-States in St. Louis, I had a special employee card, so I could park for super cheap. And now I don't have any of that. Now I literally park in my office. I Uber an 8-minute ride to the terminal, which is, I've paid up to $60 for an 8-minute ride from the terminal. Bullshit. Rock Pebbler, hi from Spain. Hola amigo. Well, welcome, man. My name is Blake, and thank you so much for coming to hang out with us on here on the Wrong Side channel. Don't know if I've seen your name before, so if not, if you haven't ever been on this channel, we call it the Wrong Side Simulations channel because we fly from the wrong side of the airplane, the right seat. But nonetheless, my friend, welcome aboard, and thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. Just a little bit of background on myself. I am a real-world flight dispatcher. Now I'm a dispatch manager here in the States. So I oversee the department of guys who plan the flights and tell the pilot in command how high to fly, how much gas to take, what the route's going to be. We ensure the legality and the safety of every flight. So having that background, I try to teach a little bit and share what I know. In fact, this aircraft, this A320ceo, is a big part of our fleet, and it's probably one of my favorite airplanes. So I try to teach and show what I know about the airplane, and have a good time doing it. Like right now, drinking a little bit of hot chocolate with some alcohol. So yes sir, make yourself at home. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. What time is it in Spain right now? So it's 2 a.m. here. It makes it 8 a.m. in France. I process and handle delivery flights that come from Airbus to my airline, and being that I process those, I'm usually kind of know what time it is in France. So I would imagine that probably not too far off from that, right? It's kind of early in the morning for you. Hate this song. I need to add to the playlist. Same songs every time, get a little old, you know. And Rock Pebbler, another cool little thing about my channel is we have a full 1-for-1 center pedestal along with the physical MCDU, so that's always a lot of fun. We'll show this a lot for takeoffs and landings, and a while ago I actually had the camera zoomed in on the MCDU, and we ran through some of the arrival stuff. So it's a fun part of the channel. I know a lot of guys don't have all this stuff. But I actually got the center pedestal, so I got the throttle and the add-ons from Italy, and they got the MCDU from Taiwan. Damn, clicked the wrong one. Volanta. wonder if surely they're not. But that those guys that do all the plane spotting in LA, it seems like they're out there all the time. Live from Tokyo, Narita. Might check that out. NASA's live. That over right there. Hide that. And then I need to redo my overlay because killing my thing stopped it. There we go. Not been on before. Back flight simming after a break of 5 years. Did ATC on IVAO. Okay. Time here is 0810. Ah. So you're in the same time zone, whatever as friends. That's pretty cool. But man, welcome back to flight simming. This is a hobby I don't know if I could ever take a break from. This hobby has taught me just about everything I know, and I would not be where I'm at in my career if it wasn't for flight sim teaching me the airplane. In fact, cool little story. Last night, one of my dispatchers was planning a flight, and she had 2 maintenance items on the airplane. One of them was the engine-driven generator was in op. So with that generator being in op, we have to run the APU for the entire flight in case the other IDG dies, and also just to pick up the load on the electrical systems to not put the whole load on that one IDG for the whole flight. But also with that maintenance item, your fuel quantity indicator has to be operable. And so the dispatcher reached out to me and was like, hey, take a look at these 2 maintenance items and tell me what you think. She said that she walked over to maintenance control. Maintenance control told her that it was good. But one of the IDG MEL says you have to have working fuel indication, but she also had an MEL for fuel indication being an op. So she thought, I can't send this, it's not legal. So when I read into the fuel indication MEL, it stated that the fuel indication was considered operable but degraded. And so by degraded, let me get out of this stuff so y'all can see, but by degraded, it would show only the first 3 digits, and the last 2 digits would be dashed out. And I told her, I was like, from a pilot standpoint, that actually kind of makes life a little bit easier and a little less annoying, because as pilots, if we're looking at like, okay, our min required takeoff fuel, like we're going to round it up. Our min required takeoff fuel is 14.5, and we've got 16.4 on board. Having those last 2 digits dashed out kind of like takes away all of the like rounding and the guesswork. So like you wouldn't be able to see them, so you just know, okay, 10.4. So once I explained it to her, and she kind of like ran that around in her brain, she's like, oh, okay, that's not nearly as intense as I thought it would be, and made her feel a lot better about sending the paperwork that it was legal to do. Because we do run into weird little things like that all the time as dispatchers, where this says this and this says that. Can we send the paperwork? Is it legal? Is it safe? So it was an interesting conversation that her and I had, and it was also a scenario that I hadn't seen play out before. So it was very educational to both of us. Let's see, what is our prog page? Optimal 360, recommended max 38.3. Fuel prediction, we're still looking at, we've got 8.6, 27 minutes of extra. We're currently flying CI0. I think we should be good on the gas. I don't anticipate any issues. So we'll just hang out here at 350, even though we planned 37. Must be windy in Narita. Well, actually, maybe not. Those trees ain't moving around very much. But he is crabbing pretty good. Just have the normal hardware at the moment with a 49-inch screen. Looking at your system, saw the IFMS module. Does it work with the A320? So I've got. So are you talking about the IFMS on the iPad, or are you talking about the actual physical MCDU, like this thing down here? Because this is actually specific to the Phoenix, not the Phoenix, but this is specific to the Airbus 320. And then there's two different pieces of software that I run. So if I'm flying the fly-by-wire, I'll run one piece of software to make this work with the airplane, and if I'm flying the Phoenix, then I use the other piece of software. I've got a 49-inch screen as well, so I can pull up a picture of my setup for you. I actually don't even use it to fly. One of my employees is looking to get into flight sim, and he saw that the 49-inch monitors were on sale for Black Friday, and I told him, I was like, man, you're gonna need a stronger computer to push those kind of graphics on a monitor that big. I would invest in the computer first. And I've gotten to the point where I don't even use the monitor for flight sim. One, because I stream. I can't stream on a monitor like that, otherwise y'all will see a very long picture and you can't see nothing during that or while you're looking at that. So that in itself kind of put me back on my smaller monitor. And then on top of that, my smaller monitor has a better picture quality than the 49-inch anyways. So it didn't really, it wasn't really much of a negative thing for me. Let's see. There we go. So here's a picture of my setup. So I get this out the way. So this is the 49-inch monitor, and then we've got the this is the main monitor that I fly on, and then these two monitors are actually not even technically mine. These came as part of my work from home kit for when I need to do work at home. They, as a manager, they give me a work from home kit, so I ended up just setting it up on my computer to give me some more screen real estate. So that's for the most part what my simulator or my setup looks like right now. Okay, so the physical unit is made by Java Simulator. I'll pull them up for you. I'll even put the link in the chat. Yeah, and like for me, it seems I have the very first one that they made. I think they have 3 different generations of them now, but it seems like it kind of stretches the pixels a little bit. It just doesn't have as clear of a doesn't have as clear of a picture. So it's Java Simulator. They're based in Taiwan. They are currently closed right now for a few days because of COVID or something. But they sell a bunch of different Airbus stuff. They have, in fact, the full glare shield. If that's what you want. I was actually maybe looking at getting something like this. It'd be kind of fun. But anyways, to the what you actually care about. So this is why I got this, because it's a lot cheaper than all the other ones you'll find. Flight Deck Solutions are taking pre-orders for one. I think theirs is like roughly $700 or $800. There's a few of them out there, but they're all like $700 or $800. This one, at least in US, I think you can either convert it to US or Thailand money. So you'd have to translate $420 US to your currency. But it's $420, so it's about half the price. And I did pay an extra $100 to expedite the shipping, because it was gonna, if I didn't, it was gonna take a month to get here. So I paid another $100 to get it here within 7 days. But at this point, and also by the way, it does not look like this. It is actually like mostly flat on the bottom, so you don't have to worry about this big box thing getting in the way. I can actually lay mine mostly flat with the way that I have it. So for me, I paid $500. You could pay a little bit less if you don't expedite the shipping. And it's good quality. They finally, so there's a piece of software that you have to run so that it can talk to the simulator, and they finally got it to where now like it works the way it's supposed to. And this was, they literally just updated the software like 2 days ago. Before they updated the software, I had to push buttons like 2, 3, sometimes 4 times to get it to register in the sim. Now the downside to these guys is they're not a big company. It might even be just like 1 or 2 people running this company. They have literally like no tech support. They do have some pretty bad reviews of like people not being happy with the product. They send it back and they never get their money back. Some kind of weird, sketchy stuff. So when I first ordered, and then I started reading the reviews, I got a little bit nervous. I was afraid that I was gonna they're just gonna take my money and run. Fortunately, they didn't, and I did actually get it. At this point, with the updated software, I would now recommend this. But before that, it was an absolute no. Now I would actually recommend it. There are higher quality ones out there that you could get, but I am now very satisfied with my purchase. All the buttons work great. It's a great like build quality. It looks good. It feels good. It lights up. I'm very happy with it. So again, though, there are higher quality ones out there that cost almost double what I paid, and you're not going to have the best customer service experience. I read about people taking like 3, 4, 5 months to get theirs. It took me, even though I paid the expedited shipping, it still took me like a good once they finally shipped it, I got it fast, but it took them like 2 months to like process my order, and then it shipped fast. So if you were to get this, you would be waiting a little while before you would actually get it. That's something to keep in mind. So it is Java Simulator, and I put it there in the chat for you. Wrong side. I need to make it down to Orlando. I have access to. Say what? And Rock, you are welcome, my friend. Jackie, don't even tempt me with a good time. Just don't. one of my guys actually sent me like a link, or it's this like school. It's, if you want the pilot experience of like basically recurrent training, JetBlue hosts this this school, and it's like a class of 8 people. And you might already know what I'm talking about, but I think the minimum requirement is you have 15 hours of flight time, and you come in and you go through like a solid overview of aircraft systems on the A320 family. Then you go through some fixed base trainer stuff, working on flows and checklists and whatnot. Then you go to like another fixed trainer that like actually has buttons and stuff. And then you go to level D, and you get 30 minutes in the left and 30 minutes in the right seats. The guy who sent it to me is one of my employees. He was like, "Dude, we ought to go do this." I was like, "Yeah." I don't know if I told him, I don't know if I want to spend $500 for like an hour in the cockpit, but I don't know, maybe it might be fun. I think my issue though is I think they probably teach like whatever standard Airbus flows and checklists that they have, and I'm very like, I've kind of groomed myself into my company's way of doing our flows and our checklists and all that kind of stuff. When I jump seat, like I watch very intently, and also have like the aircraft operating manual, so I've gone in there and like memorized flows and stuff. I feel like that wouldn't mix well with whatever they're trying to teach. But I did have a Cessna 172 simulator made by TRC. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money, and that's even more money back then. Yeah, I bet they're not. At some point in time, Microsoft does plan to be able to implement Microsoft Flight Simulator into stuff like that. They're just not to that point yet. Alright, so we are 20 miles from top of drop. Come back over to constraint. Let's update everything one last time, and then we're going to brief up the approach and get our butts on the ground in San Antonio. So let's pause this. And let's come on down here. Let's go to perf, next phase, and let's pull up current weather in San Antonio. Are you kidding me? The winds picked up in San Antonio and is now 10 statute miles. And the temp dew point spread is now 3 degrees. What the hell, man? That can't be real. I was really hoping for a Cat 2 ILS. Okay. No. I don't know what Phoenix is pulling up. Okay, there it goes. Now it's finally... Alright. I was about to get pissed. I was like, there's no way that it clears out that fast. Okay. So, currently, as of 0651 Zulu, winds are 170 at 4, half-mile visibility. Runway 13 right, RVRs 3500 varying to 4500. Rain, fog, vertical visibility 200 feet, temperature is 18, dew point 18, altimeter 2982. So it's definitely IFR, low IFR. So that'll make her fun. So let's update everything here to 9.82. 18 still, winds 170 at 4, so the wind has gotten a little bit weaker. And we're going to plan on the Cat 2. And if for whatever reason we can't get in, then we'll just do an auto land. We'll get her in that way. ILS, playing low for now. And then once we start coming down, we'll brief the approach. Could send you some SOP docs. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Are these SOPs standard? Like, are they specific to any airline or just like Airbus SOPs? Or man, now you got me curious as to what it is you do for a living. If you have access to JetBlue's sims. And if you work for B6, then you and I will be working together in the future if you pick up what I'm putting down. Alright, let's see. Approach starts at 3200. Star. Okay. Cross limit 10,000. Radar vectors. Alright, so we'll do 32 for now. $3,000 is fine. Alright, on our way down. Let's brief up this here approach. Charts. Boom. Alrighty guys, so we are direct to limit. We're going to cross limit at 10,000 feet. Work our way down. We'll expect radar vector, so we'll vector ourselves because we are currently in non-controlled airspace. We are planning the ILS runway 13 right. Frequency is going to be 110.9. I'm going to cross-check that now. Rad nav. Got sat in there, 161.8. We got 110.9 with 128, 30-degree glide slope. It is. Alright. So final approach course is 128. Final approach fix is Alamo at 2770. For the Cat 2 ILS, it's going to be 100-foot minimums, and that is ground level. Touchdown zone elevation is 809. We have a standard 3-degree glide slope. Approach lights, Pappy on the left. We go miss. We'll climb to 3100 on a 128 heading. To shoot this approach, we need 100-foot ceilings and RVR 1200. We'll pull up the RVR here in just a second. Also need to get, oh yeah, it's down here. I'm still learning this new Navigraph. On runway, where'd you go? 13 right, we have high intensity runway lights, center line lights, approach lights, touchdown zone lights, Pappy on the left, a 3-degree glide path on the Pappy. RVRs are reporting. We got 7,307 feet from the glide slope, and it's 150 feet wide. When we land, it's going to be a right-hand turnoff. We'll turn off, hopefully at the high speed at Lima, make our way into the gate. And if we don't, we do have a hot spot down towards the end of the runway, as well as obviously where the two runways intersect. It's going to be a right seat landing, 320 for tail strike avoidance. We've got the constraints on. ILS push buttons are arms, so we're flying the ILS, auto brake low. And if y'all got any questions, throw it in the chat. For now, we'll consider the approach brief complete. We could link up. I'm not as connected as you, man. Well, that's still fine by me. In fact, if you want to, my Discord is in the chat. Feel free to shoot me a DM, and we can swap numbers or whatever the case. So if you're ever in town, we can grab a beer and hang out. It'll be a lot of fun. The time here is 1 hour ahead of Zulu. But I live 1 mile from the... Damn, that makes things a little confusing sometimes. From GMT 0 line. The reason is during World War II, the dictator here was friendly with the German man, so he made it the same time. Wow. That is very, very interesting. And I've always been a big World War II buff too, so that's really cool. So myself and one of my colleagues, her and I both processed the international delivery flights from Toulouse and Hamburg, as well as the Airbus factory here in Alabama. And so now I can tell her, like, hey, I actually talked to a guy last night in my chat who lives 1 mile from the GMT line. She'll find that super cool. That is really, really neat. Alright, so when we get down towards 18,000 feet, we'll run our approach brief. And do y'all want to do real time and land at night, or do you want to keep things like daytime, dusk, dawn, something like that? What do y'all want to see? You let me know, and I'll put it on for you. That's probably one. Yep, that would be one. That's a fact. Let's actually jump over here so I can step over it easier. Alright, flight plan. Just gonna kind of tab through, check out the route. And the vectors should start from LK, but for some reason it doesn't. It turns and it goes direct to. So what we'll do is, when we get to LK, we'll pull heading, and we'll fly opposite of runway heading, and that should put us parallel to the runway. And then we'll vector ourselves to final. But it's all connected. It looks good. That's the only thing we'll have to do differently. Cool. I was born in UK, but I lived here for 34 years. Okay. I've actually never been to Europe. My boss asked me today if I would like to go to Toulouse, like I think middle of this month. But we're having a dispatch leadership Christmas party on the 16th, and he wanted me to go over there on the 13th, and I was like, okay, like that'd be cool, but don't you want me to like go to this party? And he was like, oh yeah, don't go then. So I think I'm gonna go to France beginning of next month, and if not then, probably go in April when we get our first 321 Neo. I either want to be on the 200th airplane that we're receiving or the first 321 Neo, preferably the 321 Neo. So Jet Kid, see if the do you have Discord? And if so, the link in Discord will take you to my Flight Sim channel or whatever, and you can send me a DM there, and then there we can talk, like we can swap numbers or whatever the case. Hey Zato, you still up? Yeah, I guess he's out. Well, Zato, that's alright, man. Pilot fatigue is a very real thing, and I would rather you go to bed than crash your airplane. So, but nonetheless, man, thanks for coming and flying most of the flight with us. It's always adds more realism to see another airplane taxiing around than none, right? Alrighty, so here comes standard, and the altimeter setting again is 2982, drastically less. Yes, I know airplane. Calm your tits. Alrighty, 2982. Status page check. All is normal. Turn the seatbelt sign on. And let's run the approach brief. Let's see. Touchdown zone elevation is 809, so it's going to make it 1800. Alrighty. Approach brief. Briefing is complete. Approach stable by 1,800 feet. ECAM status is checked. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums 100 is set. And engine NIS 1 and 2 are off. Altimeters 2982 set. Approach checklist complete. And let's get our replay out. Hopefully I don't forget. I usually forget to do it. I'll turn it on and then I forget to hit record. It's always my luck. Probably a little cold in December. I could imagine. But the thing is, I live in Florida where it's hot literally 10 out of the 12 months. So I don't mind actually mind some cold weather. In fact, my girlfriend and I are we're flying to part of the United States that's got some cold weather and mountains here in about 2 days, just so that we can be around mountains and get some cold weather because we're tired of the heat. Like, it's December, and yesterday it was probably 28 degrees Celsius, 29 degrees Celsius, something like that. It was pretty hot yesterday. Alright, so we got LK in 4 miles. We're going to go heading mode at LK. Now, I'm going to forewarn y'all, San Antonio Airport kills my frame rates, especially when I'm streaming and I've got all this stuff open. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 15 programs running right now. So don't be surprised if the airplane struggles. And you said you wanted to see a nighttime, so let's do that. I might have to adjust all my screens. Let's do real time. Let's get all this stuff set up. I can already see the frame rates are starting to go down since we're getting close to San Antonio. I think that Bailey's kind of hit a little bit finally. Alright, so we're below 10,000 feet. Landing lights, come on. And ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, this is your first officer speaking. We have started our initial descent into the San Antonio area. We'll be on the ground in about the next 10-15 minutes. Current weather in San Antonio. Got some low visibility of half mile, some rain, some fog, and some moderate temperatures of around 18 degrees Celsius. Not sure what that comes out to in Fahrenheit. You can do the calculation yourself. Got some light winds out of the south. And again, we always want to thank you for flying Volaris. We appreciate your business, and we'll see you on the ground soon. We hope to see you on a Volaris flight here in the near future. Flight attendants, please back cabin for arrival. Bam. Oh wow, it already went into approach. It already activated approach phase. Alright, so let's go heading. And opposite runway heading will be come on, this thing's slow. 308. That will put us parallel to the runway. And we'll go flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. Turn my lights off since now it's dark in the sim. It makes it kind of hard to see. And we've got a 34 knot crosswind from the left side, so I'm just going to turn this a little bit more to the left to compensate. Turn it 5 left to compensate the drift. And we need to get down to 32 before we cross Hasdu. We'll steepen that descent, throw out some boards, and we got a little donut making its way back up. So when it gets close, we'll go ahead and go back into managed descent. And managed descent. Come on. Oh, I can't because we're in heading mode, that's why. Duh. So we'll shallow that off, stow the boards. And let's go direct to Hasdu. Nav. And right now we're about 13 miles from the threshold of the runway. San Antonio traffic, Blair's 2541 is turning base for runway 13 right. San Antonio. Alright, let's lower down to 180. Hate how that accelerates on you. So once we get into this fog, we might actually have to turn our taxi light off to help us see and pick up the runway. Localizer live, so we'll arm the approach. We actually could have done that sooner. Lokestar. Alright, we'll go, we got V and E plus 10. So you got this little amber bar here, plus 10. That is your flap 2 speed, so speed checks, flaps 2. And when we get to about 6 miles or so, we'll get fully configured to land. We're still tracking that localizer, getting back on final approach course. And we start seeing this glide slope coming down here in just a sec. Turning cold here now, about 21 degrees Celsius, 72. Oh, man! So your weather is a lot like ours. I think right now if you're 64 Fahrenheit, we're sitting around like 59, 60 right now, something like that. So we're just kind of hanging out here at 3,000 feet until we pick up the glide slope. Glide slope is alive. So the last thing you want to do is you do not want to be fully configured to land and flying level. It's not the best thing to do. Currently 10 miles out. We're going to start seeing more and more of this kind of fog as we get lower into this stuff and it gets thicker. Glide slope star. Alright, we'll dial it down to 170 now. Alright, so now we're looking perfect. Speed, glide slope, localizer, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. Outer marker. And if we go missed, This approach procedure is to climb to 3,100 feet, and then what heading was it? I think it was a 128 heading, which is runway heading. I should just say runway heading. That makes life easier. All right, 6.5 miles. And there is 6 miles, so we'll go managed speed, gear down, arm spoilers, and flaps 3. Speed checks flaps 3. And flaps full. Speed checks flaps full. Landing checklist. Landing checklist. Cabin crew is advised. Auto thrust speed. Auto brakes low. ECMMO landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. Alright guys. Here we go. We're probably going to see some frame rates tank. It's my airplane. Probably shouldn't be hand flying right now, but that's okay. Because on Wrong Side Simulations channel, we are men and we fly the damn airplane like men. Well, the airplane's struggling.
500. 400. 300.
Flight slope.
100 above.
Going around.
Flight slope.
Got a positive rate, gear up. Go around flaps. Man, those frames are really screwing with me. Why is the airplane rolling? Thrust climb, open climb. Autopilot 1 2. Speed alt star. San Antonio traffic. Valeris 2541. Wind missed. Runway 13 right. We'll be coming back around, try it again. Flaps up. After takeoff checklist, landing gears up, flaps track to blue pack set, APUs off. After takeoff checklist is complete. Alright, let's box ourselves around and give her another shot. This time we're going to let the ILS fly it a little bit longer. For some reason, the airplane was really struggling to maintain glide slope and, or not glide slope, but maintain speed. Let's go 130. Those frame rates are garbage. Turn that off for now. What frame do you have that RVR is? I don't. If I had to guess, it's probably just a little bit below 30 frames per second. Last night I watched some of those videos. It's like, some update 11, no more stutters, blah blah blah, and I did a whole bunch of stuff, and it honestly didn't help very much. And it may have given me a few frames back, But at an airport like this, like I'm still getting around like 28 to 30, and I've got a 3080 i7, 64 gigs of VRAM. Like it's not a weak computer by any means, although I do plan on upgrading to a 4090. Alright, let's go 305 on the heading. And let's get her set up again. Let's go. And we got a has-do in there. So we're looking alright. I don't know what the deal is with these winds, man. So once we get parallel to has-do, we'll turn, we'll get back on course and give another shot. See what prog page is, not prog, but fuel prediction page is showing. Why does it got, why doesn't it have anything? It says I have no extra. So min destination is 6.6 and we've got 7.9. So if we were to hit 6.6 fuel on board, we have to go to Dallas. Probably want to go a little bit sooner than that, but that is our min fuel remaining when we have to bug out, and so we're still fine. We could probably go missed, give it one more shot, and then go to Dallas. This is another time when you'd be reaching out to your dispatcher, finding out if we have any better options, like let's see what Houston's looking like and Austin. Houston is 1 mile missed overcast 300. That is 100 feet below alternate minimums, so we can't use that. Austin, 3 miles missed overcast at 300. Also, that is 100 feet below alternate minimums based off of a 2 nav aid rule with 2 standard Cat 1 ILS nav aids. So Dallas is our best bet. So let's check Dallas weather. Dallas is gold. 10 statute miles, overcast 1300, temperature 16, dew point 13, altimeter 2972. That RVR was pretty low. Yeah, so let's look up the RVR. RVR monitor. So real quick. Custom view, continue, and let's do sat table. It's not terrible. Touchdown on 13 right is 2800, midpoint 35, rollout 55. It's not the worst. Alrighty, so let's go direct has-do, and we can also go flaps 1. Arm the approach. Give her another shot. Is Phoenix multiplayer functional? It is not, unfortunately. There is some software out there called Your Controls, and basically what it does is, like if you and I were connected, your computer could read where I click, like it reads click spots, and then vice versa. Therefore, you can do shared cockpit. but Phoenix is not compatible with that, especially since it operates in an external environment. But fly-by-wire is. So I've done a couple shared cockpit flights with Captain Shaquille O'Neal, if y'all are familiar with him at all. Jackie, I know you are. Him and I have done some shared cockpit flights. I think him and I actually streamed one. It's still very clunky. Like, when he was landing the airplane, I lowered the gear. It showed gear down on my side, but gear did not come down on his side, and he landed the airplane on its belly. So it still has its faults. So we're on a 16-mile final, so I'm going to keep that speed up for now. No need in getting super slow, super early. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but you can actually set up your GSX a little ways out. But it don't seem like it wants to work. Look. Localizer's captured. Yeah, screw it. We are recording the landing right now. Just waiting on that glide slope to come in. Yeah, it would be. I know a lot of people have been begging for it. I just don't know if it's even doable, being that it operates in an external environment. Come on, glide slope. There it is. Glide slope's live. Let's slow her down. Using that level flight to help bleed off that airspeed. It always seems to struggle to slow down between flaps 1 and flap 2 speeds. There is V&E plus 10. Glide slope star. Flaps 2, speed checks flaps 2. Activate approach phase. Glide slope is captured. Yeah, I do too, man. I really like the Tolus. I just wish it looked better. Like, I don't care as much about the sim, but I wish like the textures and stuff inside the airplane looked better, more crisp. I wish the sounds were a little better, although I don't have any in the sound packs. I could probably fix that myself. Alright, 7-mile final. Let's go ahead and go manage speed. Gear down. Arm spoilers. Flaps 3. Flaps 4. Landing checklist. Landing checklist. Cabin crew is advised. Auto thrust speed. Auto brakes low. EQMO. Landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. Alrighty. This time we're going to let the ILS work for us. Let the autopilot do its thing. So we get a little bit closer.
1,000.
1,000. No wonder when around my first time, my chair wasn't set up. There we go. So we are stable. And honestly, on that last approach, I should have gone around sooner. My descent rate exceeded 1,000 feet per minute. Below 1,000 feet AGL. and also below the stable altitude of 1,800 feet that we briefed. So I should have gone around. I was like, don't really feel like it. I'll get this on the ground. But then, like, we got way too low. I was like, alright, whatever. So again, like, look at that. The airplane is struggling with the speed.
500.
Approach lights. Oh,
400.
okay. That doesn't break the immersion at all. Watch it just pop back in too. It's gonna go IFR the last second.
200.
Man, frames.
100.
I don't know about that ILS either. I feel like I was
50.
pretty high.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
There goes the taxiway we wanted to exit on. Ugh. The stutters, world class. And welcome to San Antonio, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, more so just gentlemen. So over here, we'll clean up and go through the after landing as the frame rates continue to get murdered. Hopefully that was a decent touchdown. Says negative 154. I'll take it, being that the frame rates suck. Alrighty, let's clean her up. Alrighty. After landing checklist, exterior lights are set, flaps are retracted, TCAS2 standby, engine mode selectors normal, ground spoilers disarmed, and radar pretty much here is off. After landing checklist complete. And I forgot to run the 3-minute timer. That was easily 2 minutes, so we'll give it 60 seconds, then we can shut down number 2 engine. Actually, we probably don't really even want to park and like shut down everything, because then it might, maybe we'll get better results with the replay without shutting everything down. Yeah, those frame rates suck. I've got my boy Tony over at Jetline on the lookout for a 4090 for me, so whenever he's able to get his hands on one, we'll get it put in. Tell you what, that's one thing I've been noticing with any builds is their airports, and they look great, but they run like shit. I can't see nothing. Alright, parking brake set. And yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and shut them down. APU's on. There's 2. There's 1. And we can shut down or turn off the beacon. Seatbelt sign. And the fuel pumps. Alrighty. Parking checklist. Slides are disarmed. Engines are off. Seatbelts off. Exterior lights set. Ice protection is off. Fuel pumps off. Yellow electric pump is off. Chalk signal received. Parking brake is on. Parking checklist complete. Bam, bam, to the bam, bam. Yeah, you and me both, man. And I cannot wait for Detroit, but I'm scared. If San Antonio kicks my Sim's ass, then I'm scared what that one's going to be like. Look at that. We're just about exactly 2 hours. Oh, yeah. I'm excited for the fly-by-wire 380 as well. I don't know if I'll fly it all that much, being that it's like a big-ass airplane and I do mostly domestic type stuff, but you can fly a little 380 action on the in the domestic type routes, but then again, there's no U.S. carriers that fly it, so makes it a little bit less fun for me. I forgot to do all my callouts on that second approach. Alright, so we'll disconnect from that. Let's close what we can close so that we can reduce the workload on the computer, which ain't gonna be much. And let's get the airplane back in some sort of a we'll make sure I got all the doors closed. Get all that going, pull the GPU. Airplane should be coming to life. And we'll run the replay, and we'll get out of here. Let's go flaps full. Gear down. That and climb, and then load.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Ugh, it's obnoxious. Find the airport, wherever it's at. Where's the damn airport? There we go. Approach lights. can't touch down to like way out here. Touchdown zone is technically the first third of the runway. About the first 3,000 feet or so, we were not in that. Might take the airplane a minute to get up to us. Alright, Rock. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you have a great day as well. And hopefully, man, I hope I'll see you on some future episodes. Until then, man, keep it on the wrong side and take care. Where's the damn airplane at? There it is. Damn, coming out of nowhere. Hauling ass, too. That is way too fast. Seems like you have to play it a couple times to get it like to really do how it's supposed to. Oh, it's just so fast, can't see shit. I feel like, I mean, the Pappies didn't look bad, the ILS, like the glass slope didn't look bad, but I feel like it brought us in really high. And the frame rates are just making this not even enjoyable to watch. Arctic chill. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all so much for coming to hang out with me, especially on this very early morning stream. Unfortunately, sometimes this is the only way I'm able to stream is to come do it right after I get off of work. So I'll keep doing that as much as I have to, but also I do have some time off coming up. Might try to get a stream in sometime tomorrow. I do have some errands to run, maybe even the next day. Then I'm off to Branson, Missouri for a few, and when I come back, I'll be back on the 7th. Should be able to get a stream in on the 7th. I think actually me and Shaq are talking about doing some shared cockpit streams on December 7th, my birthday. So yeah, actually it is. It's called Rex Environment Force. I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up for you. Let's see. Real environment. I can't remember. It's by Rex. Let me go into my sim programs. That's it. Rex AccuSeason. Just changes the colors of the trees and makes them look a little nicer. But yeah, man, reach out to me if you haven't already in Discord, and we can swap numbers and that kind of stuff and stay in touch. And other than that, guys, thanks for coming to hang out again. Can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all's company and getting to chat with y'all and get to know y'all. And until the next one, y'all keep it on the wrong side. Yeah, man, I'm absolutely cool with that. Let me turn on my Discord. If it'll ever start today. Let's see. That's not what I wanted. Get out of here. Alright, there you go. So there is my Discord. Feel free to shoot me a DM and we'll chat on there. Anyways, guys, until the next one, hope everybody has a great next couple of days. In case I don't see y'all, because I do have a lot to do, I may or may not be able to stream. So if not, hope y'all have a great about next week or so. And until the next one, y'all keep it on the wrong side. Peace.